been saying for weeks that Rick Perry needed to make a big policy speech, and he did that on his flat tax, and it went viral. His behavior to some was a little peculiar.
That little plan that I just shared with you doesn't force the granite state to expand your tax footprint, if you know what I mean. Or you can stay in the old system that's out there. And Senator, you know, the ones that want to stay in the old system, pay the lawyers, pay the accountants, all that money that's gone, or that. You know, just pretty easy math. Subtract it, send it in. It's awesome. We are the land of the free. Let's let America be America again and again be the land of the free.
So that might not have been exactly the kind of speech I was thinking he'd make, but his spokesperson says he was passionate about what he's speaking about, and he said he was having fun and thought it was a good speech. What do you think?
That reminded me of me when I take an Ambien on a plane and have a scotch. But here's the difference between the right and the left. The left say crazy stuff when they're sober. And I said this last night, I'd rather have a drunk Perry than a sober Obama.
I don't think he was. I don't think we can say he was.
Oh, I think look, I got to look at that. There's something. He was definitely. He is uncomfortable when he speaks in public. He has a problem debating. We know this. What do? You lighten up. You loosen up with a couple of drinks. Maybe he was there a little too long. Had three.
That looked much more like shrooms than it did alcohol.
It might not have been. I mean, we can't say there was anything substantive. But I think that it is possible that he was overcompensating and trying not to be stiff and was trying to have a good time with the audience.
Well,
you're so forgiving.
Let me tell you, there's one rule about politics, particularly presidential politics, and this is always used to scare me. Whenever a candidate gives a speech to a crowd that's with them, you know, when you go to your friends and you give speeches, you have a tendency to get out there and say things that you would not normally say.
Like when Senator Obama said in that private fundraiser that right-wingers basically cling to gods and guns, right? It was one of those unscripted moments where you catch a little glimpse of what they're really like.
Yeah, and I think this was, you know, when you get, this was some conservative Eric's crowd, right?
So maybe he hit
but no, it was New Hampshire voters. I mean, it was in New Hampshire.
I'm telling you, the guy wasn't drinking.
You know, you guys don't like him when he's quiet. You don't like him when he's happy.
I like this.
This poor guy, he went out. Look, there's no indication that he was, there's no proof he was drinking, had drugs or anything like that. Come on, he's having a good time with the crowd. And by the way, did anyone take apart what he said? I got playing on a postcard.
I thought that
nobody would do that.
That was the most entertaining speech Perry has ever done. I loved it. I think it's okay to loosen up once in a while.
What do you think?
I think that he's missing a huge opportunity. I mean, Kane is having all this trouble this week. He's stumbling. The one who's laughing and acting all giddy behind the scenes is probably Romney.
Yeah.
This is Perry's chance to step up, because if something happens to Kane, that support will likely go to Perry. Now, because he's bumbling around, acting crazy, that support...
Hold on. Why is that crazy?
He looks a little unstable. I mean, to be honest with you, compared to the interviews he's done on this network, he looks unstable. So if he looks unstable, Kane looks unstable, conservatives are...
Can we ask you a substantive question?
It'll go to Gingrich.
But one of the things people
Gingrich
have...
is probably left.
He was giving a speech on his flat tax proposal. I'm going to try to save this segment. Flat tax proposal. And there are some conservative economists who are questioning it. And one of the things, Eric, I wanted to get your take on was some people are saying that the campaign has absurdly optimistic projections of how much revenue a flat tax would bring in, that actually it's going to end up costing the middle class more because the higher rates would come down too much and not bring in enough revenue.
I read the piece that you're talking about, and what, by the way, anyone at this table besides Bob have a problem with lower taxes?
No.
I mean, look, the other part of his plan, yes, revenue would probably come down, but spending can only be 18% of GDP, which right now it's approaching 25%. So,
you know,
yes, that revenue down, but spending will go way down.
This is the Rudy plan, right? This is the exact same plan Rudy Giuliani, and the Paul Ryan plan. But the difference is, I don't know why Perry didn't do this. He doesn't let you lock in every year to choose one of these if you're going to do the regular tax plan or his tax plan. That would address that revenue issue.
Yeah, it would.
But they can't switch back and forth.
I don't know if anybody saw the story about the same day that that Perry was doing the speech in New Hampshire, Romney was giving a speech across the state. Now, there is what's the guy in The Wizard of Oz that has no heart? The straw man? No, the Tin Man has no heart. That's right.
Darth Vader.
Romney sounded like a Ken doll. I mean, the guy, he never shows any passion. I'll give Perry this. He shows some passion. If Romney did that, the guy would have been, I mean, I would have probably voted for him.
And also, Greg, Kane, one of the reasons that people like him is that he doesn't sound like every other politician.
Imagine if Perry was like that with, like, Ahmadinejad. Dude, you're crazy. Stop it.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
And
It would be better than asking Ahmadinejad to politely remove his warships from our shores.
He wouldn't bow.
Romney might.
No, he'd say, armor dinner jacket, buddy, here's the deal.
Yeah.
You touch Israel, and we're going to blow your ass off the face of the earth.
That'd be Perry.
All right.
Perry. Romney, my God, Romney would take 15 minutes to say hello.
Bob is going to take some lessons from his brother, who is an actor who's here, on his imitations so that he can entertain us for the rest of the week. Up next,
very good.
has President Obama kicked his smoking habit? We've got the doctor's note next on The Five.